Alright everybody, today we're going to be converting a Polaris Ranger EV from the stock lead acid batteries to lithium batteries, lithium iron phosphate. We've made a few videos about this before, but this one's meant to be a no mods needed, no modifications to this system. Simply take out the old batteries, put the new batteries in, they fit just right, and we're going to go over that process. It's fairly straightforward, but we'll basically be going over how we put together. It's going to take you about 2 or so hours to do, and this should, once done, you should be pretty much ready to go. Stock charger will work. Pretty much everything stock should work just fine. So this is a 2019 Ranger we're going to be converting. Let's go over what we're going to be using. So first off, we have 4 SFK 315 batteries. These are 12-volt batteries, and we're going to put them in series. You can also do this in conversion with 6 24-volt batteries. This is good for about 40 to 45 miles of range. It's a 16 kilowatt-hour conversion, and it will provide the 52 to 53 volts that the system prefers. We're going to be using the stock hardware. Let's sort of see what we kind of come up with in our kit. There's going to be, when you get this kit, you're going to have 8 of these longer M8 bolts. So that's what's going to hold the brackets on. You'll use the stock brackets. You have 3 of the series wires that you'll be installing. You also have the SFK battery equalizer. So that should keep all batteries perfectly synced in series. You're going to need flathead to pop the rivets off, and that should allow you to take all the batteries out. Also going to need some sandpaper and some isopropyl alcohol. That's just to clean any existing terminals that may have corrosion, and it's probably a good idea to have a socket set because you'll need that to take the stuff off. We're going to be also installing sort of a phone holder. That's what we're going to use to basically show the sort of battery monitoring / speed and a fuel gauge, because these are wirelessly connected. So this phone holder is going to make it easy. So that's a little bit about that. And we'll sort of be going over what it is. Sort of to begin, you just basically are going to pop your little dump bed on the side, and you'll start off by taking these. We already took one off that side, but you're going to take off this, and a flathead screwdriver should be able to pop these off. Don't throw these away, you'll need them to reattach it. But once you're done, we're just basically going to go in and remove these batteries. We'll be taking out 8 batteries and putting 4 in, and all the stuff like the stock bracket stuff we'll be able to use. So that's going to be basically be reused. And most of the stock wiring will also be able to use, but we're not going to be using the one that's in the middle. So anyway, we'll get that side panel off, and then we'll begin by taking out these batteries. Okay, so we got that side panel off. As you see, there's quite a bit of junk and some dirt, so we'll clean that out. And then we're going to start by basically unbolting all these here, and then we're done. We're going to unbolt this and start taking the batteries out. So that's going to be next. So we're taking stuff off, but did you see all that green corrosion? Yeah, that is not something you'll have to worry about now that you moved over. That we're moving over to lithium. So that's another thing you won't have to worry about. But we are taking these off. So the customer has the stock ones, but just wanted to show you this is the kind of challenges you have when you're running lead acid. It sort of eats up everything. Alright, to illustrate the corrosion point a little more, you see this? This started off looking like this, but the corrosion ate up so much that the entire layer of the plating was basically eaten up. And if you're thinking that was enough to run 300 amps, I'm sorry to tell you, but that's probably a danger. It can probably cause a spark. So that's just how bad the corrosion can get on lead acid. So just to show you how it was in the beginning, right here, and on the other side, that's how it ended up being. So yeah, Lead acid corrosion, it's not a joke. All right, we got all the wires disconnected. Now we're starting to take this bracket over here out. We took one screw out. This is the stock screw that is inside. And here's the one that you're going to be replacing it with that comes with our kit. You can see it is about 1.5 inches longer, and that's going to help accommodate our batteries, which are slightly taller, but the top still matches the standard. Okay, so if you've got an older unit that may have some rust, you may need to get some WD-40 to shoot in that retaining bolt. So we had a little bit of trouble with that, but we put some lubricant in there, and now we're able to get it out. So just take your time with it, and as long as you have a good, decent socket set, it should come out. All right, so we got one side batteries out from one side, and we placed them here. If anyone wants to sort of see a size comparison between the SFK 315EX and the stock batteries in the Polaris, here's sort of where you are. As you can see, the only real difference is the SFK battery sits up maybe 1 inch taller, which is why we have the longer screws. But as far as this goes, as far as the actual mounting bracket, you'll see it fits just right. As you can see, it's designed to fit just right. Only difference is ours is a little taller, which is why we give you the taller screws. So just kind of give you an overview of how sort of it looks like. And we're going to take the other bay out, take those other 8 batteries out, and then just sort of resume our thing. And like I said, no mods. These batteries will fit in those trays perfect. So let's get the other side out, and then we'll begin putting these in. All right, so we got all the batteries removed, and we kind of cleaned up the trays a bit. All right, we got the first battery in. As you can see, it fits the tray perfectly, including the edge lip on the edge right there. So we got this one in. We're going to put another one. We're going to put 2 in the front, the one in the rear, and the one inside will remain empty. So let's put them all in. All right, so we've got the batteries installed, and we've got the stock bracket installed. As you can see, it's extremely sturdy. The batteries are locked in place. It is as strong as it is in the stock. We got this side. We'll show you in the back. We got the back side. Since we've got that place empty, that one just sort of stays empty. But we also put the rear end on there just to kind of support this so it doesn't wobble around. This is going to be a little loose because there's no battery in there. But if you were doing the 6 battery conversion, you'd have the 6 battery there. And if someone really wants, they could potentially do a 8 battery conversion and just get like 90 miles of range, 36 horsepower, something ridiculous, which will never actually happen because you'll probably pop the fuse before you draw that much power. But we can see we've got all 4 batteries in, stock bracket is in. Now that this is there, we can start putting our wires in, and we're just going to go ahead and start doing that next. We're starting to work on the wires, and normally we can sort of use the existing final terminals that come off the contactor. This is your battery positive. However, this particular lug, it has a lot of corrosion, a lot of pitting, and it's got, even if we try to clean it, we would never get a good solid contact. So we're actually going to go ahead and just cut this off and replace it. Now, you will not need this particular one, so when we cut it, we're just going to cut it here and crimp on a new connector. And by doing that, we should have a nice solid connector, and that's going to go to the positive, so it should be easy to set up. But the negative seems okay, but since we're doing this, we're probably going to do both and just make it to where we just have fresh lugs. That way we will be absolutely sure that we don't have any connectivity problems, and then you won't have any issues with the lugs getting hot. Alright, so put new lugs on there, and this is actually equivalent about 2 gauge wire, but the negative is a 1/0 cable, so it's got a slightly bigger lug. But this should work fine and fit the batteries just well. So normally you won't have to change it, but if it's corroded and you're changing your batteries out, get a lug crimper, like a hydraulic crimper. I definitely would cut it and replace it with a brand new one, and then you should definitely be good to go. Alright, so we're finishing up the wiring, and we just want to show you the way we're doing it. So since we have these threaded nuts that come with the battery, we're putting a washer between that, and underneath it we're putting the balancing wire. So we'll discuss that in a minute, but we basically have the bolt, washer, balancing wire, and then this goes on top of the lug and squishes it down. that's the way we do it, and we're going to show you how it is all installed, and then we'll sort of see how we've routed it, and then we'll sort of wrap up the wiring portion of the install. So before we begin, we have two things we need to explain. We have our equalizer, which is going to make sure all our batteries stay in sync, and these have its own wires, such as this right here. So when you're installing your batteries, you'll have a positive and negative going to each battery. So it's very important. Each battery has its own set of red, own set of negative. So make sure you set them up this way. So these are set up in series, which means the positive comes from there, and the negative from the first battery goes to the positive of the second battery. The negative of the third battery goes from here, and this is the long one when it goes all the way around to that side of the battery, and then this side, then goes to this side, and then finally the final negative goes to the speed controller. So that's how it is set up. It's like a little loop, keeps the wire concise. But the most important thing is make sure each battery has its set. Now once that's done, we're going to install this. First we want to clean this. So you can kind of see we took some isopropyl alcohol and some paper towels and cleaned this side. What we're going to do is we're going to take some double-sided sticky tape, attach it to this, and then attach this module to here, and then we're going to connect all of our batteries to our equalizer. Once we do that, we're going to do some zip ties to do some cable management and tidy up, and that's going to be the end of our install. Alright, so we've got everything installed. We've done a little bit of cable management to keep the wires out the way. Got our balancer set up, and as you see, it's reading. It should balance all the batteries so that they stay perfectly balanced in a series configuration. So other than that, let's sort of show you what else we've done. So the other thing we've added is this nifty little phone mount. So a lot of people ask us, well, how are you going to communicate with the batteries and, you know, get that information? Using wireless, we can communicate with our batteries. It uses Bluetooth, and we can connect to multiple batteries and also have them connect all as if they're appearing as a single battery. Let's show you how that process works. We'll check 15, 14, okay. So these are the 4 batteries that we have. Hit connect. Connect. Sometimes you get an error. So this is something we got from Best Buy. It's they make a lot of them. It's a windshield mount, and we'll connect to it in a second, and then we'll show you how we set it up so that you can set it up as a single combined battery and have it view as a 48 volt system. Alright, so when it gets here, you're going to choose 48, 4 in series, 48 volt, hit submit. And then once we do it, we're going to change a few settings and we're going to save this configuration. This means next time we open up the app, we can just connect it as if it's one giant battery. Okay, so as you can see, we have all 4 batteries connected. So now let's show you what we're going to do. We're going to actually go to our tools. We're going to go to our speed. Polaris can go up to 30 or 25. And it can peak up to 14. So we're going to hit update on the maximum speed, and for kilowatts we're going to go ahead and 14. Go ahead and hit 14, and now we're going to save this as a battery. So we'll go back in 30 and we'll call it Polaris 48V. Go ahead and update. Okay. So now we have a virtual battery, the Polaris 48. So now you can see we've connected to all 4 batteries, and it draws about 1.5 to 1.6 amps at idle. But we have this thing called the auto dashboard. So when we go to the auto dashboard, we are able to view our speed, our power, and the temperature for all the batteries, as well as our fuel gauge. So even though we've got 4 batteries, the system will combine the output into a single battery, so we can sort of see how the whole system operates as in unison. So now when we're driving around, we'll start getting our speed, and we can sort of see what's going on. It's a Sunday, so we might venture out to the highway a little bit, or the road. Let's see here. Moving around, we'll see the power output. Once you go to high, Let's see what we can do in high. So we're pegged. About 21 miles an hour, and we're pulling out 11. But as it goes, the power output will come down to around 6 or 7 kilowatts. So that's pegged. And this is about what the Polaris can do. It is limited. So, get off the road. I have a person coming. So it is limited federally to about 25 miles per hour. And normally when you get 25 miles per hour, you're going to be pulling about 6 to 7 kilowatts. So there's a little bit of traffic, so we're actually going to not be a little careful heading back. Let's see. Alright, so heading back, and we're fully pegged on high, and about 23 miles per hour is where the Polaris will cap off. So, and once you get going, you're going to be, as you can see, around between 5 to 6 kilowatts. So it'll peak around 14 kilowatts to get on it, but on flat liver road, you're probably only going to be pulling around, 5 to 6 kilowatts, and you're going to be limited to about between 21 to 23 miles per hour. And I think that's a federally regulated limit. So, for just off-road recreational use, I guess that would be fine. And this will, like I said, our app will give you everything. You get speed, battery temperatures, and you can also get the kilowatts that you're using. But yeah, so we wanted to kind of give you an idea of what it is for the sort of summer edition. And this one doesn't require any mods. We did have to cut the wire on it, but that was because it was just corroded. We just couldn't save it. But other than that, everything else is stock. We just added, like I said, we added this mount. But yeah, if you're looking to convert a Polaris and you want a nice solid capacity, 40 miles of range worth, I think this will work probably really well for you. It's well within the limits, and you get, easily double the range that you had with the lead acids. All right, thank you. Oh, one thing before we forget, the charger. Everyone wants to know, do we need to change the charger or not? And the answer is no, you do not. Let's go ahead and plug this in. All right, we got this plugged in. Now we can go to our app on our phone, and if we go to home, you can see we are charging. All batteries are receiving a charge, and it's charging at around charging the batteries at around 17 amps. So should take about overnight charger. Now if you're in Louisiana or another place that's kind of hot, just realize it can get hot, so the charger may complain, and some people will actually remove the hood and run a fan to charge it, to cool the charger off, but those issues happen even on lead acid, so just keep that in mind. We're able to charge to 100%, so the stock charger, as you can see, it can get to 100%, so you can be able to fully charge your battery. Alright, so as you saw in our video, we were able to use a stock charger, and we can reach to 100%, including reaching the full voltage of 14.4 volts per battery. Now you may have heard, oh well, you have to change the chargers out on these units to make it lithium compatible. That's not exactly correct. If you were to change to a lithium cobalt based chemistry, then yes, you would have to change. But we use lithium iron, which is a very voltage friendly chemistry to lead acid. In other words, stock lead acid chargers can charge lithium iron phosphate just fine. Now, that being said, the stock chargers on these units usually limit their output to 150 to 100 amp hours because they're assuming you're still running lead. So what you have to do in that situation, if you're charging, you may need to unplug your charger and then wait a few minutes and then plug it back in. And that sort of resets the charger so it starts the countdown again, giving you another 100 amp hours or so. You can get what we call a wall timer to sort of do that automatically. In other words, you set the wall timer to just reset after a little bit, like run for 5 hours, reset for 15 minutes, run for 5 hours again, and what that's going to basically do is let the charger reset to keep charging. It's not going to damage your batteries. It's not going to overcharge your batteries. It will just bring them up to the full voltage. And we've done this with approximately 40 or 50 of these units, so we're very familiar with the process, and we can say with utmost confidence the stock charger will work just fine. If you have any other questions, you can visit our website at sunfunkits.com, shoot us an email at cs@sunfunkits.com, or go to our website, use your phone, and ring us up, and we're more than happy to answer all your questions. Okay, thank you, and thank you again for choosing Sun Fun Kits.